The neon sign above the laundromat flickered erratically, casting eerie shadows on the cracked pavement below. Inside, the hum of washing machines and the occasional jingle of coins and dryers provided a discordant symphony. But beneath the surface, something sinister lurked. It was a cold and moonless night when Emily decided to do her laundry at the dingy, run-down laundromat on the corner of Elm Street. She had recently moved to the small, quiet town of Havenbrook, far away from the hustle and bustle of city life. The laundromat was the only place open at this hour, and she desperately needed clean clothes for her new job. Emily stepped inside, shivering as a chill raced down her spine. The dimly lit space felt unnaturally cold, despite the ancient radiators struggling to warm the room. Rows of old washing machines stood like sentinels, their dark, empty doors seeming to beckon her. Reluctantly, she loaded her laundry and inserted her coins. As the machine roared to life, Emily took a seat on one of the faded plastic chairs, trying to ignore the oppressive atmosphere. The fluorescent lights above buzzed ominously, casting a sickly pallor over everything. She couldn't help but notice the strange assortment of people in the laundromat that night. A hunched figure in the corner, shrouded in a tattered overcoat, muttered to themselves, clutching a grubby bundle of clothes. A little girl with long, tangled hair sat alone at a table, silently rocking back and forth. And then there was an elderly woman who seemed to be watching Emily intently, her eyes piercing and unnerving. Emily tried to distract herself by reading a magazine left on a nearby table. The articles were ancient, yellowed with age, and filled with stories of missing persons and unsolved mysteries in Havenbrook. Unease gnawed at her, but she dismissed it as paranoia. Minutes turned into hours, and Emily's laundry finally finished. She gathered her clothes, hastily folding them into her basket. It was then that she heard the soft, echoing laughter. Emily turned to see the little girl, her pale face contorted into a sinister grin as she whispered, "You shouldn't have come here." Startled, Emily hurried toward the exit, glancing back at the others. The hunched figure in the corner had vanished, and the elderly woman was gone as well. Panic welled up inside her as she fumbled for her car keys. Outside, the night was even darker, the street lamp's feeble glow barely reaching the laundromat's entrance. Emily's heart pounded in her chest as she rushed to her car, but when she looked back at the building, she froze in terror. The laundromat's neon sign had stopped flickering. In its place, a single word glowed ominously: "Run." Without thinking, Emily slammed the car door shut, her tires screeching as she sped away from the cursed place. She couldn't shake the feeling that something malevolent had been watching her inside that dreadful laundromat. As the nights passed, Emily couldn't erase the memory of the eerie encounter. She began to hear whispers in the wind and strange shadows in the corners of her vision. The townsfolk avoided her, their eyes filled with fear and mistrust. It was as though the darkness of the laundromat had clung to her, tainting her very soul. One fateful night, Emily vanished without a trace, joining the long list of missing persons in Havenbrook. And the sinister laundromat on Elm Street continued to cast its eerie, flickering light, waiting for its next victim to step through its cursed doors.